This lung is going to show the chemical part, and this lung is going to show the biological part. Breathing and respiration. When we breathe, our body passes through inhalation and exhalation. During inhalation, the ribcage rises and the diaphragm contracts, increasing the size of the chest cavity. During exhalation, the ribcage lowers and the diaphragm relaxes, decreasing the size of the chest cavity. About breathing and homeostasis. Our nervous system has final control of our breathing muscles, whether we are conscious or not. Breathing is initiated by the breathing center in the part of the breathing stem called the medulla oblongata. Sensory neurons in or near the medulla and in some large blood vessels gather information about carbon dioxide levels in the body and send the information to the breathing system. When stimulated, the breathing center sends nerve impulses that cause the diaphragm and chest muscles to contract, bringing air into the lungs.
I'm going to explain what is respiration and the chemical processes that occurs when this happens. First of all, we have to understand that respiration is the process of gas exchange between a body and the environment. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged across the walls of villi and capillaries. Chemical properties of blood and red blood cells allow for an efficient transport of gases through the body. Gas exchange occurs when air enters alveoli. Oxygen dissolves in the moisture on their inner surface, then diffuses across capillary walls into the blood. Oxygen diffuses in this direction because the oxygen concentration is greater in the air within the alveoli than it is in the blood. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide diffuses from blood into the alveoli because the concentration is greater in the blood than it is in the air in the alveoli. Then there are two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. I'm going to start with aerobic respiration, which starts when glucose and oxygen react together in cells to produce carbon dioxide and water, but also releases energy. This reaction is called aerobic respiration because oxygen from the air is needed for it to work. And here is the word equation for aerobic respiration. That is, glucose plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water, but also produce energy. Where this happens is in the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is found in the cell cytoplasm. Then is anaerobic respiration. When we do hard exercise, not enough oxygen can reach muscle cells. So aerobic respiration is replaced with anaerobic respiration. It does not need oxygen for it to happen. Here is the word equation for anaerobic respiration in humans. That is, glucose is transformed in lactic acid, which is is a bacteria that makes the milk to transform in yogurt. We also have to know that anaerobic respiration produces much less energy than aerobic respiration. And the waste product, the lactic acid, builds up in the muscles, causing pain and tiredness. That's why when we do exercise, our muscles pain a lot. And this leads to cramp. Lactic acid is only broken down when you start aerobic respiration again. It's like a cyclic process of aerobic to anaerobic, and aerobic turns to aerobic again. Finally, I'm going to start to explain the cellular respiration, which consists in 4 steps, which are glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, citric acid cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. Glycolysis starts when glucose, a 6-carbon sugar, undergoes a series of chemical transformation. In the end, it goes converted into 2 molecules of pyruvate, a 3-carbon organic molecule. In these reactions, ATP is made and ADH positive is converted to NADH. The second step is pyruvate oxidation. Each pyruvate from glycolysis goes into the mitochondrial matrix, the innermost compartment of mitochondria. There, it is converted into two carbon molecules bound to coenzyme A, known as acetyl-CoA. Carbon dioxide is released and NADH is generated. The third step is citric acid cycle. The acetyl-CoA made in the last step combines with a fourth carbon molecule and goes through a cycle of reaction, ultimately regenerating the fourth carbon starting molecule. ATP, NADH, and FADH2 are produced and carbon dioxide is released. Then the last step is oxidative phosphorylation. That starts when the NADH and FADH2 made in other steps deposits their electrons in the electron transport chain, during back into their empty forms, which are NADH positive and FADH. But as the electrons move down the chain, energy is released and used to pump protons out of the matrix of the mitochondria, forming a gradient. Protons flow back into the matrix through an enzyme called ATP synthesis, making ATP. At the end of the electron transport chain, oxygen accepts electrons and takes up electrons to form water. But we have to know that glycolysis, the first step, can take place without oxygen in a process called fermentation. But fermentation doesn't occur in the human respiration process.
They represent the exchange of gases, like they were getting inside like the oxygen, and they come back like carbon dioxide. So this is an alveoli, and you can see here, now they come back. Yeah, but it's too fast. It's too fast. So they enter. They enter and then. It's like the pressure of the air. Biological make the lung move. But when you inhale, the diaphragm moves. The diaphragm when we inhale, the diaphragm must move down because the lungs are getting more space. And when you exhale, they get over
The purpose of this project is to create an interactive way to learn the breathing and homeostasis process by getting a model. We want to give it to elementary school, and on the left lung we want to show the biological process that is breathing, and on the right lung we want to show the chemical process that is respiration.
The main advantage of using this model is that kids will understand how does the respiration and breathing works, because our model is interactive. It shows how the respiratory system works, and at the same time it identifies the organs that take place in these processes.
We made this model because we wanted to create something that would help middle schoolers to understand the importance of the respiratory system, its organs, and how it works in an easy way, and we did. One of the best things about this model is that it is interactive, so it really shows you what happens inside your body during the breathing process.